Welcome back, family, to another episode of Walking in Wisdom. And on this platform, we continue to discuss into 2026 everything character analysis because we believe more than ever character matters indeed. And today it brings me great pleasure to come back to the beautiful Blessing Obasi television. And we're going to unpack Dream Man. But before we do, a little bit of housekeeping. This is Walking in Wisdom. Again, we do everything character analysis. If you have not yet subscribed, I'm about to give you 4 reasons why you want to join this elite group of 161 subscribers. You know that they are men and women of faith. They are Nollywood fans, mainly of powerful women like Blessing Obasi and Sonia Uche, women of character, daughters of grace, Archulugos. You decide to do the work because now that you know better, you know what's expected of you, you decide to do better. And lastly, family, it's about if you expect more from our global leaders, our national leaders, our state leaders, our local leaders, and our families, we have to start with who we are, the man and woman in the mirror. It's about self-leadership, leading your feet towards righteousness. Now, if this sounds like something you want to do to level up for 2026 to be better as an entrepreneur, as a she boss, as a he boss, as a manager, as an executive, as a family man, as a wife, as a mother, as a sister, as an aunt, as a grandmother, it all comes down as a friend, right? It all comes down to leveling up and getting the job done. Simply put, building good character. And today, more than ever, character matters. So go ahead, smash that subscribe button, hit the thumbs up, drive the algorithm. And during this time where most people have time off for the holidays, whether you participate in it directly or not, I simply don't. But you have a lot more time off before you meet the beginning of 2026 business calendar year. We recommend that indeed you do the work and get the job done. So this platform was inspired by no other than the incomparable Sonia Uche. Before we get into today's character analysis, if you have not subscribed to Sonia Uche Television, we could make it 3 million strong in 2026. Please go ahead and subscribe and fan out and let the world know about this great young lady. And if you haven't watched A Mix of Love, another chemistry banger with Sonia Uche and Marissa, please be sure to do so. It was 3 hours and it felt like 3 minutes. So go ahead, watch, subscribe, support, fan out, and watch again and watch again and watch again, if by chance you have not already done so indeed. Now on to today's beautiful movie from Blessing Obasi. She is at 183K. If you have not subscribed to her, please be sure to do so as well. I love the team, Blessing Obasi and her handsome husband, Stan Nessie. My understanding, you just had twins. If that is true, congratulations. If not, my bad. I got that from the gisters. But I believe it is. So congratulations to the growing family indeed, and the sheep was getting the job done. Now we're on to today's movie, indeed. The Dream Man is currently at 142K. This need to be 1 million in the next few days. So please join us to get this movie to being 1 million in the next couple of days. And for that, we say thank you. So now on to today's character analysis of indeed Dream Man. And without giving it away, there were a few surprises. I was able to guess a couple of them. You have to look at the movie to know what I'm talking about. But here we have two handsome gentlemen, played by Stan Nessie and Desert the Great. And one of these individuals is a long-term relationship with the beautiful N.M. King. And I love the relationship between the sisterhood between Jessica Obasi and N.M. King, indeed. So one of these gentlemen is indeed in a long-term relationship. And the only reason she left the relationship because it was long-term. And in the Western culture, long term is like 5 to 10 years. I guess in the Eastern culture, long term is 1 to 5 years, right? So she left because they were celebrating the anniversary and she saw someone else, she witnessed someone else being proposed to. And she was like, okay, I'm ending the relationship. Apparently, they went into the relationship knowing that he never wanted to get married, but she thought he would have changed her mind. And as women, sometimes we do that, right? We think we can change. We could be the one to change his mind. Sometimes that's true, sometimes not, but it is a risky decision if you know, oh, I don't want to have kids. Oh, I never want to get married. It is very risky. Having said that, when she departed from that relationship, she met the dream man. And the dream man ended up being a nightmare. I will just say that. And as a result, it talks about in the Caribbean, we say, we choose until we choose junk, right? And though I would say good for her for knowing her worth and value, she too easily jumped into another relationship. Now, the storyline didn't really give the time difference. So I'm unable to state, well, it was 6 months or 2 years after. A year and a half is good enough to make sure you're over the other person. But if it's weeks or even months and you've been in a long-term relationship, it is way too soon. And the storyline takes you on an interesting journey. And if you want to see the movie, which I think you should because it was very well executed, very well played. I love me. My apologies, Sister Blessing, but I say this with the utmost respect. I love me some Stan Nessie. I think he's a wonderful actor, and you're a wonderful couple indeed. So kudos to your real romance and your growing family. But in this particular movie, he sold his role, and we say kudos. And part of that, again, is the number one lesson we need to learn when we come out from a long-term relationship. I would say, do not get back into another relationship. You could start dating again, but do not soon get back on that horse for another long-term exclusive relationship. First of all, your heart is not healed. Second of all, you cannot be ready. Third of all, your heart is not clean from the prior relationship. You have to ensure that that residue is fully out of the way to make room for this new person. Even if this person would have been an excellent person and the dream man, it possibly still wouldn't have worked because you were still not over your old mate. Again, we're talking about long-term relationships. So I would say, family, if you're in a long-term relationship, know your value. If you decide to walk away, I say good for you, but you should have known that because he might have stated that at the beginning. Don't ever think you can change a man. A man could only change himself if he decides to, if he loves you enough. And the same thing for women, right? And if the person is a man or woman of faith as well, and they come into the truth, that could also happen. But don't go back unless you see the fruit of the spirit, the change in within that person, before you were to give that person another chance, right? So that's just the one tip I wanted to provide you with. Brief to the point, excellent movie. Go ahead and support. Go ahead, put your comments and see this masterpiece, Suspense. That's another way I love my romance movies, a little bit of this, a little bit of that. And Blessing Obasi Television delivered, the actors delivered their role very well done, and we say kudos indeed. So that concludes another episode of Walking in Wisdom, where we consider everything character analysis, building good character. Go out, fan, join, subscribe, and tell the world all about you building your character one day, one person, one member of the diaspora at a time. Thank you so much for watching, and as always, shalom.